Muy buenos mis niños, y hoy vamos a jugar un ratito al Star Rail, que hay que hacer la misión principal, que hace ya una semana que ha pasado. O sea, que salió el parche y todavía no he hecho una mierda. Creo que es esto, ¿no? Sí, porque es el símbolo dorado. Que por cierto, hice ¿cómo se llama? El de el evento este. Y la verdad que mira, de hecho, fíjate, es que ya no queda nada, ¿no? Ya está hecho. Un poco me, de verdad, esperaba algo más de este evento. Sí, da recompensa, todo lo que tú quieras, pero era nada más que spamear el dado hasta que todo te salía. Porque lo demás, esto es que... ¿Para qué? ¿Sabes? Después no sé para qué tenemos la animación esta, si siempre te dan los mismos, 30k de inicial, 15 dados y 3 teledirigidos. Esto que se me acumula infinito, los dados de volver a tirar y ya está. Es que no hay más. O sea, que te... No sé. No sé. Y esto lo usé una vez. La verdad es que no lo entiendo. El informe este y tal, ¿no? Tampoco sé por qué te ponen un mapa. Bueno. Da igual. Eso que ustedes me habían dicho, es que claro, no sé por qué. Nunca había caído en la cuenta de que... Oye, Feni, mira, si tienes un canal de gameplay, ¿por qué no subes gameplay del juego del que más hablas en tu canal principal? No sé. Tiene como sentido, ¿sabes lo que te quiero decir? Así que nada, vamos a darle. La verdad que tengo ganas de ver la misión principal. Voy a subir, espero, porque el audio estaba de una mierda. Espero que salga por donde tiene que salir. Vale, sí, sale por donde tiene que salir. A ver, déjame ponerlo a 40. Lo bajo. Y... Bueno, ahora está en 60. 44. Bueno, espérate. 0. Ahora sí, 40. Vale, pues vamos a hablar con el Ventura.
Ah, friend. My expression wasn't much better than yours when I first saw this. Your
Bueno.
eyes aren't deceiving you. It's her. The famous singer, Robin.
Permíteme dudarlo. Que no, que es Parker.
Well, first of all, can I just say that this had nothing to do with me? I'm just an unlucky bystander here. The family can testify for me.
No se ve nada aquí.
If you don't believe me, just ask anyone in the Bloodhound family. They hate me and they hate that. This is not where the crime happened. What I showed you was a memory. The most basic light cone manifesting tech. Authorized by the Garden of Recollection and
Vale, entonces simplemente te enseño una ilusión.
the Galaxy Rangers were outsiders this whole time. Panicone has made a solemn commitment to protect the safety of anyone inside a family dream. Any person in distress will be forcibly awakened and safely returned to reality. What gives them the confidence to make such conclusive statements? Because behind this promise is the harmony.
Anda en sus
Family's
mentes.
Dreamweavers link up their minds together to construct an unbreakable defensive line.
Este es el ulti de la... ¿Cómo se llama? De la cisne.
Breaking through this line of defense to create death in the dreamscape. Not even a memo keeper could do that without the family's permission. Who could have done it, friend? The only one is her. The girl who calls herself a Galaxy Ranger.
Se hace llamar, no que sea.
An unsought guest. An emanator who hides her true identity. Ifrit's death was a foregone conclusion. And Robin? Her misfortune was staring right at her. Who will be the next to die?
Es que me hace fleje de gracia. Porque vimos el trailer de Ifrit y todos los hijos. En plan, oh, mira, los bosses que van a aparecer en Penacony. Y de repente dicen, ah, están todos muertos. Es como, bueno. Ok.
It's fine. Listen to your gut.
Te juro que leí
Trust
intestino.
always takes time, and I'm willing to wait. I just hope you realize that wherever that legacy is concerned, covert plans are already underway throughout Panicone. Everyone, careful you don't get stuck on the wrong side. If I were you, I'd keep my distance from that. After all, any schemes out in the open are always going to be better than a monster in the shadows, right?
Who's to say there isn't an even deeper conspiracy lurking beneath the surface?
Memo Keeper, I think our little deal is finished.
Aventurine is telling the truth. This memory is a real one, and there's no sign of any distortion grafting on.
The IPC is not the Garden, and there are real limits to what they can actually do. But you know all this. Friend, let's not beat around the bush here. The thing is, I want to reach out personally to team up with the Astral Express. I told you, I'm just not interested in scrambling for the legacy. I just came to Penacony for work. This has all become a bad debt thanks to the cancer of all worlds. The IPC has tried sitting down for negotiations time and again, but you have no idea how difficult these people are to deal with. Put it this way. They've hushed up the existence of death before, so they can definitely... It'll just quietly float off like a bubble, and that's not fair, right? So then, friend, I need your help.
La pregunta es ¿cuándo murió? De estar muerta, ¿cuándo murió? Ya estaba muerta de antes y lo que veíamos que era. ¿Era un sueño? ¿Era una ilusión? ¿Era Sparkle? No, Sparkle no debería ser porque el hermano lo sabría. Entonces se murió cuando nosotros llegamos, pero ¿en qué momento? Es que eso es lo que me...
That's fine. I'm not forcing. I'm really not asking for much, so I have but only one goal. The family's front door is like a high wall. And to tear the whole thing down, I'll have to dig out a few... Now we have our chance. So long as we can get to the truth behind her death, we can have justice for Robin. Well, all's truly a once-in-a-blue-moon opportunity. I've been investigating and making lots of friends. This tragic news would be extremely bad for the family. So they'll be doing everything they can to stop. But I trust that there are still a few factions that remain exceptions. And that's why I need you all. The reputation... You get to find out really what happened and seek justice. Don't worry, just head back and talk things over with your companion. That navigator is really smart. She must understand the value of this deal. Look. Oh, and...
Es que en verdad Himeko también es una mafiosa, ¿eh?
So long, friend. I really am looking forward to uncovering the truth about death.
Aventurine just sauntered off. He really doesn't mean to force it, but something still seems off.
What now? What are your plans?
Black Swan. What is she thinking?
On the surface, this doesn't look like a bad deal for you. But Aventurine, he doesn't know about Miss Firefly yet. But, judging by your reaction, he may have noticed something going on, and deliberately shifted topics to the truth. That's quick thinking and very sound logic. Aventurine?
A ver qué dice Luciana.
Anyway, be careful out there. There's more than one way to blaze a trail. In a dark forest. As for the other questions,
Vale,
I'm not sure the two cases were committed by the same culprit.
Vale, son dos casos. Ya te las estás separando las dos. Esa enorme herida parecía su espada alada. Todos la hemos visto en acción. Sí, la herida que tenía la Robin se refiere. Dos. La muerte y quién. ¿Acheron?
Sorry, I can't answer that question. That ranger is shrouded, but without a doubt, she is the most special guest at this banquet. It's two victims appearing one after the other in a very short time span. Two possibilities. The collapse of Penacony's dreamscape has started speeding up, making death extreme. If someone has chosen these victims deliberately, first a smuggler, then a family celebrity, then this murderer's motives are worth thoroughly chewing over.
Es que ¿quién puede ser? Pues sabemos que la luciérnaga tiene algún rollo con Sam raro. O es Sam, o Sam la protege, o qué, no se sabe. Bueno, yo no lo sé, ustedes lo sabrán porque se habrán visto toda la historia. Y luego la otra, entonces, ¿qué puedes pensar? ¿Que fueron los cazadores de Estelaro? A saber.
It's all happened so quickly, I can only make conjecture.
Es que tampoco, porque ellos son como una especie de entidades caóticas, como que ven un futuro claro y intentan guiar el futuro por ahí.
Come this way. It's a short walk. Don't get lost. This way.
Me gusta la musiquita.
This is where we part ways. Unfortunately, the remembrance doesn't lie. But we just but follow your heart and don't be afraid. We all walk through this world casting hold on just a sec. There you go. A small parting gift. If one day you unfortunately fall into the deep waters, I also pay great attention to the ways of the world. Just think. Then I've something private to take care of. What fascinating memories will you bring for me next time?
Madre mía.
A family rep. Is Himiko okay?
Epístola. Que por cierto, he explorado -3, mira, 27 de 32, 17 de 27, 11 de 15, 15 de 33, ni la mitad llegué. Aquí me falta solo un cofre, eso sí. Uf, tengo que hacer el simulado también. Bueno. Mira, me acabo de fijar que está esa cosa volando ahí. Mira, hay un cofre. Creo que me podía tepear directamente a la torre, ¿no? Bueno. Ya, sí, claro, mira. Ya es tarde.
So much is happening.
Uy, 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 uy.
Do you still dream, Hunter, of those slain by your hand?
Ah, vale, la mansión del fuego es la de cuando mató a Ifrit y todo el mundo, ¿no?
It appears the outcome has already been determined.
You're still alive, as are you. You still have room to make a choice. Leave the music box behind, and then go.
La caja de música.
Choice. The bloody trail of the destruction leaves no room for hesitation.
The Taurus fire demon. Even if you sacrifice your life for that eon, you won't get special treatment.
Ranger, you tread the narrow path of the hunt. You could
De la
never
cacería.
We come from the fire and are born bathed in fire. We spread, burn, and destroy until all the kindling is burned out and we leave
El doblaje es una puta maravilla.
ground. Burning forms the entire life of a fire demon, from the beginning to the end. We are born to die just to put into practice a profile of another universe. worlds are created for the destruction.
Your companions don't seem to think so. They fight for your chance at survival.
They are my children, and just as I was, they are flames that have yet to burn wide hot. They're still young, and I don't blame them. But my flames are faint, and time is running out. Can you see the planet of festivities in the distance? I plan to bring Purgatory with me there, and before that, I must surpass you.
Why?
Because on the path they have forged, you have traveled farther than I have. Emanator. You cannot hide your true identity. Draw that sword, for we shall indeed
Tiene 2 cojones de fuego el puto duque, ¿eh? Las cosas como son. Dice, voy a morir. Me la suda.
choose this. Destruction is intense, but brief. To cravenly cling to life is to endure an endlessly prolonged existence.
Even if the answer turns out to be your own destruction.
What is important is not the answer, but that it exists, just as you exist. Everything exists to be destroyed. Emanators are no different. Just as even sweet dreams may be born of the void, the so-called impossible is merely something that is yet to happen.
Totalmente cierto.
All right. I accept.
You shall witness the most brilliant and intense fire in existence. May this flame illuminate the farthest reaches of your bottomless dream.
A bottomless stream. Yes, that's right. But you've made one small mistake. This blade remains in its scabbard not out of pity or scorn. It's a personal secret that I don't want to disclose, but perhaps out of reciprocity. I'll reveal the truth to you. The hunt is not the path I truly follow. May death be the end of your boundless dream, guiding you back to the waking world. I still see them in my dreams. Hold it. Your time hasn't come yet.
My time.
I've seen many clever disguises that can conceal appearances. They can never cover up who a person really is. You're no different. You had no desire to kill the Trailblazer. You only did what you did to drive me and the Memo Keeper away, but why?
Entonces sí es la luciérnaga.
Did Destiny's slave make you do it?
El esclavo del destino, esclavo. Ah, el jefe, ¿no? Helio, eso es.
I thought this is just the kind of thing that'd get written into your script.
My script has always been brief. Other than that, anything beyond that is unnecessary. He knows my nature. There is but a single destiny from which no one can escape. And until then, I hold the privilege of choice. However, you appear to be ignorant of this. So it's time for me to inquire. Who exactly are you?
Not your enemy, perhaps.
That's not what I asked.
I don't deserve your curiosity. Loners wandering the cosmos always have their secrets. Take me. I'm wanted by the IPC, so it's little... Maybe I can help.
What reason would you
I tend to forget things. Which is why, rather than memories, I'm accustomed to using my emotions. I know who is inside that cold armor.
Fría. Bueno, yo no diría fría.
Ready to take off that armor and sit down?
It's not yet time. I don't need help. But I can give you a suggestion that would make things better for you and me. If your goal is the Watchmaker's legacy, then go look into the family. Not only are they covering up the existence...
Already on it.
And the Astral Express is no enemy of yours.
I know that. I just never expected to hear you say. What's next then? The Trailblazer's been taken by Black Swan. Will you go look for her?
No need for that. No harm in mentioning that Elio's only given me one instruction. Get all of the Astral Express to track down the Grand Legacy. I tried settling this in an easier and more direct way. But as you can see, here I am, confronting you. I failed. Can't ever go against the script.
The so-called impossible is merely something that is yet...
Lo que le dijo el otro.
That's it. Before we split, can I ask you one more thing?
Tan mala memoria no tiene.
Is there anything else in your script about me? I'd like to know what kind of footnote I get to leave in that future foreseen by destiny.
Unfortunately, not a thing came up.
I knew it.
Hang on.
Don't. What?
Your first question was, do you still have dreams about everyone who died because of you? I don't. Never have. I was born without the ability to dream. I live for this cold, harsh reality. For a little light.
Esto es muy como el Duque, ¿no?
On burning.
Pero con una mentalidad diferente.
Ash. So, I really envy you.
Entonces, confirmamos que Luciérnaga.
Is that so? Then you're already living in the waking world.
We heard about Miss Firefly from Black...
I'm sorry.
Reality cruises on in serenity, while undercurrents bubble up from the... Stay strong, everyone. We can still do what we can for them.
Let's recap everything then. The Trailblazer just reminded me of...
Indeed, we trust that the Nameless has nothing to do with this. And we also beg each of you to help assist the family in verifying the identity of the deceased. That's how...
Looking back, he seemed a little evasive at the time.
The family's planning on covering up all news about Miss Robin's death. If news gets out...
Pero baño de sangre, ¿por qué?
turn into a bloodbath.
O sea, vale, sí, se lía. Se lía, porque se ha muerto. Vale, pero...
But the murder that followed closely after was obviously beyond their anticipation. The family had to try and turn things to their advantage by bringing in reinforcements from...
It may also be that Miss Firefly's murder had so many witnesses that it couldn't be covered up. So they went with the flow. After all, the nature of the two murders is fundamentally different. The family's first protective measure should be against malicious actors among the guests.
Indeed. What?
Are we missing the forest for the trees here? I always felt that Aventurine's reasons.
At this point, I'm afraid the only ones we can trust.
A ver, la verdad es que sí, porque cada uno tiene un muerto en el armario.
Let's try to gather intel first and then list all the possible outcomes we can. Then we go through them, eliminating contradictions one by one. The fewer facts remaining, the closer we are to the truth. I've still
Welt.
got this sense of foreboding. It's like we're stuck in a whirlpool, spinning around that legacy.
This time we're playing the role of a real detective. But before
As I see things, the family harbors no ill will towards the Astral Express. If they didn't trust the crew, they wouldn't have casually commissioned outsiders to investigate a case. Plus, this is the family's turf. As for that Aventurine, well,
He's complex. He deliberately slow-played his hand during negotiation. He appealed convincingly to both reason and emotion. It wasn't for... Still, it's good to have contacts among all this uncertainty. Aventurine showed his skills, and as far... We also need to keep a certain distance from the family. Never let them get too close. Teaming up with the IPC helps balance that out. If either side makes a move, we have the option to pull out.
Claro, a ver, o sea, estamos nosotros, ¿no? Está la corporación, está la familia y después tenemos los Memory Keepers, ¿no? A la Cisne y está el Acheron, ¿no? Entonces son dos grandes grupos, que es la corporación y la familia, que están ahí luchando entre ellos. Y nosotros pues vamos equilibrando la pelea. Esto es como en Warhammer, el planeta este. Había un planeta en donde estaban luchando los orcos contra los tiránidos. Entonces la humanidad lo que hacía era intentar ayudar para mantener el equilibrio y que no se desbordara. Aunque al final se acabó desbordando, pero el plan era correcto.
Yes. It's risky, but we can only wait until both sides have played.
Espérate, que no leí justo lo que puso, lo que dijo antes. Vale, sí. A ver, obviamente íbamos a aceptar.
I get why, but there's a whole lot of bad guys and girls around here. And I'm worried about
Puedes intimidarme cuanto quieras.
No, forget about it. Just let me keep an eye on him. If that doesn't work, we can just turn the table.
Then, could you please reply to Aventurine?
Puedo tirar en los gachas por ti. Tío, puta aventurino. ¿Cómo?
Looks like Aventurine.
Pero hemos ganado. Sí, nos ha dado 200k por la cara. Ajá. Ok.
Aventurine's goal is to the existence of death will be covered up by the family. So how does he plan on taking?
Yo voy a darle a todo. Yo quiero leerlo todo.
Unlikely. Penacony's guests include quite a few bigwigs known throughout the whole cosmos. He's definitely going for the family, and it's just a matter of how. The harmony is strong in Penacony, and almost impossible to take on head-to-head. Aventurine has devoted considerable attention to her. But this Galaxy Ranger... I was also considering this possibility. Especially... because... I'm just speculating. He's clearly a born gambler if he's willing to go all in to win.
All in. La verdad es que sí. Vamos a dejar a Welt para el final. Que es el sabio.
I hope it's not too soon to bring it up. But I feel like because aren't we supposed to be inside a dream? How could someone whenever I see the No. After all, they've brought everyone to sleep. Everyone's still having a great time out there on the streets. Aw, what a But
Vale. Vamos a hablar con papá, que él sabrá. Bueno, con el abuelo.
Said something that concerns me. He accused that Galaxy Ranger of killing Robin without any evidence whatsoever, but said nothing about her connection to that memory.
Correcto.
It was a groundless accusation, which only... Maybe Adventurine's goal was never to gain our trust. Maybe he wanted to foster it. However, I asked Don Hong back on the Express to confirm that story about the Annihilation Gang and the law. You've met her many times now. What's your...
Poderosa es. ¡Hija de puta! ¡Hija de puta!
That fits the stereotype of a Galaxy Ranger to a T. They're eccentric, unpredictable, and fond of being alone. No wonder she's a suspect.
Tío, pero ¿nos está quitando la memoria o algo? Es que suponía... Es que hay muchas teorías, ¿no? Como que ella es una emanadora en verdad de la nihilidad, que es emanadora de ¿cómo se llama? Del fin, y que ella va atrás en el tiempo y no sé qué. Entonces, muchas veces, o sea, hay situaciones en las que, dependiendo de lo que digas, te manipula para forzarte a que digas algo concreto. Así que le hemos dicho que es sospechosa. No le hemos dicho que sea fuerte. ¿Y la otra opción cuál era? No, no lo podemos ver, pero la otra opción tampoco se podía decir.
Himiko, what do you think?
Among our current clues, the two murders that she witnessed are the most directly connected. One thing I'm curious about is, if a person dies in a dream, what happens to them in real life?
En una misión nos dijeron que no se muere, que te despierta.
Why not pop back out to reality and verify Miss Firefly's situation back at the hotel?
How about we split off into two groups? There are still some things
Worth focusing on? Oh.
Huh? Aw, I thought I'd finally get to see Himiko and Mr. Yang go.
I will. Honored guest, could you come out for a second?
¿Ves? Ella estaba ahí todo ese tiempo. Hija de puta.
I'd be embarrassed too, getting stared at like that.
Forgive me. My name is Welt Yang. I'm one of the crew members on the Astral Express.
Well.
Is there something about my name?
First, don't you want to know my name?
I already do, Miss Acheron. You're a prominent figure in Pentagon.
What are they saying about me?
Some claim that you're the real culprit behind these murders, that the Annihilation Gang's tragic fate at the banquet was a result of your blade. And
The Annihilation Gang.
Ifrit of Everflame Mansion.
Tragic fate. That Duke turned his dying body to flames and sacrificed his life as a martyr. He was a determined and heroic pathstrider. Not even a villain should be disparaged like this. And what's more, there were plenty of suspects invited. Do they really think that a blade is more...
Es que Well está hiperchetado. Yo es que me estuve mirando la historia de Well para saber realmente quién era. Well está mega chetado.
Keen intuition. Not even the family managed to point out the truth behind this cane. So you must surely know Miss Acheron.
Básicamente le acaba de decir que no debería estar vigilándole, que no es buena idea.
Your knowledge of us has reached uncomfortable depths.
Claro, porque Well, Claro, no interesa que sepan quién es.
Reveal your true
No, ¿qué puede hacer?
identity and intentions. Otherwise, brace yourself for
¡Hostia
gravitation
puta!
separation.
¡Hostia puta!
That shouldn't be necessary. But if it makes the nameless feel less... Believe it or not, Galaxy Ranger, Acheron. Those are the names I go by to this very day. My trip to Penacony is... I'm here for the Watchmaker's legacy. And that's it.
Still unwilling to reveal your true identity?
It's not that I don't want to. It's just that I can't. I've come so far, and I can't sum up all of that. Everyone has their own unspeakable power. Secrets that...
El puto güey es un papucho.
And I won't be asking any more questions. Such as why the Astral Express is roaming around the cosmos with a Stellaron on board.
¡Hostia! Tenemos un Stellaron a bordo. Stellaron. Stellaron.
Is she okay? That memo keeper didn't do anything, right?
¿Cómo? Ella está bien. Se refiere a nosotros, ¿no? ¿Nosotros? O Himeko, creo.
She's fine. Let's just
Sí.
stick with
Vale,
it.
nosotros.
Gaining my trust depends on how much you're willing to reveal.
I've run around many different Penacony dreamscapes just to try and find that legacy. And during this period, I came into contact with quite a few guests. In the process, I gradually came to realize the secret of Penacony may be closely related.
Pero si ya lo sabemos.
That's why I've come to ask for your help. I don't have enough proof yet, but I'd like to speculate something. The source of all tragedy lies within the family. If you could trust me, we could find the proof to support this claim together. Mr. Yang, I think you've come to...
Let's leave it at that. For now, I don't choose to
Por
believe
ahora,
you bear
no te va a absorber un putísimo agujero negro. Por ahora. Pero pórtate. Es lo que le acabo de decir.
and me. I don't want vague conjecture to interfere with other people's judgments before we find solid proof.
By the way, would you like something to drink? Before we go, how about 2 cups of Wake the Heck Up? No, 4 cups.
4.
Because the conversation coming up will last forever.
Ole. Ole, esta escena ha sido legendaria.
I've been watching her closely for a while now. And the first
Es que parece que estoy en una película.
in the banquet hall
Y de la
for a
abuela.
while. She just sat in one corner, keeping silent, chugging down a couple cups of Wake the Heck Up. I told her it's a pungent, bitter beverage, not the taste of
Uy.
sweet dreams.
Really? But I don't...
The guest rooms are charmingly minimalist. An aesthetic you share, Miss Acheron. It's a cinch. This music box.
Vale, la caja de música.
Invitation received by the Annihilation Gang. There are latent memories that linger on it yet.
¿Cómo? La caja de música, la invitación recibida por la banda de la erradicación. Invitación
These
aquí.
memories of you are not yours alone. They travel in other people, other things. I know much, and I can predict even more. With some help, the dead can be made to speak.
Tus recuerdos no son solo tuyos, viajan entre personas y otras cosas. No, pero creo que se refiere a lo que hace ella, ¿no? De como viajar al pasado, lo que vimos en el tráiler aquel. Creo que es eso a lo que
The
se refiere.
Annihilation Gang, that band of desperados who all disappeared after meeting you. What exactly happened to them? Well, let me...
Gradation 12. Dreamscape 12.
Wherever they go, shall be met by us.
Tío, es que la voz es buenísima.
There it is. It's hazy, but it's Ifrit's voice. This is the residual memory from when the invitation was first delivered. They were abruptly interrupted. Then, what happened next is...
They sought refuge in a land of sleep. Children of the flame, this marks your right up.
She won't be necessary. I alone am enough.
Esta es la pelirroja, ¿no?
When have thou on the path of destruction?
¿Este es el del violonchelo o el violonchelo? No me sale el... joder. El
The
Times.
Everflame Mansion has set out on a journey. Those poor people, they have no idea what lies in wait ahead of them. Memory recovery is going well, but slowly. She'll be here soon, and time is short. There's nobody else here, so there's no need to be delicate. In fact, I think I'd better go all out. What happened? The memory after that is blank. How is that possible? This music box fell into Acheron's hands, and she brought it to Penacony. That's a fact, and that's how it should have gone. But along the way...
Claro, los recuerdos que está viendo son los de la caja.
It's like it's been erased. Who's done this?
Y ahora aparece Acheron, ¿no?
Who are you?
¡Uh!
Who are you?
It's... No. Is this not a memory?
La otra Acheron, obviamente. La del pelo blanco.
A memo keeper. Do you serve the Garden of Recollection?
Incineradores.
Cremators? My name is Constance.
Ah, Constanza, vale, vale. Esa es la del paraguas.
We were supposed to meet in Penacony and spend an unforgettable time together. But that seems unrealistic. Dahlia's not welcome on the banquet star, and I don't need a coming-of-age ceremony. And you, I know what you're looking for. Want her secret? I can give it to you, and then you can enjoy the banquet for me. I wish you...
Uy.
Oh. A phone.
Perspectiva aventurino. Para recuperar su fuck.
A few days ago, the IPC made an announcement. Under the watchful guidance of the Marketing Development Department, and in accordance with the Interstellar Peace Charter, the independent Sigonian sovereignty has hereby been established. The formation of the Sigonian sovereignty is of great historical significance to the Sigonia system. This move puts an end...
Sigonia 4 is located in an unclaimed zone at the intersection of the Denise, Prothean, and Dorneau star clusters. The planet's surface environment is known for being extremely harsh, constantly faced with the threat of impact from small-scale celestial objects. This is why very few intelligent species have made this planet their home, dividing themselves into several tribes to eke out nomad lifestyles as they struggle to survive the arid...
Sigonia. Sigonia. Land of rock, but not water.
Y este es aventurino de pequeño, ¿no?
Lightning, but not rain. Blood, but not tears. You beat us with your falling stars. You lash us. You promised us a land of honey.
rust beneath a sword of bitterness. Oh, when you took his father, my child was still sleeping in my belly. I don't ask for a peaceful death. Just for you to tell me otherwise.
Mommy! 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 The rain! It's raining!
Raining?
It's raining! It's true! Those Outworlders weren't lying to
Ah, sí. Esto nos lo explicó Topa. Que habían planetas que eran súper pobres y los de la corporación los terraformaba a cambio de una deuda enorme. Básicamente era como esclavitud casi.
Do you hear that? Darling, listen. This is the sound of such a lucky child.
Los Abginestos. Que por eso tenía él el código en el cuello. Que se lo dijo el ratio.
The goddess Gaia keep you and your skin.
Tus planes ocultos para siempre.
Welcome to
Cacapasha.
Time to wake up, gambler.
El ratio como siempre.
Oh, heavens. I must have drunk too much.
Just as you guessed. Nobody outside knows about Robin's death. There aren't even baseless conspiracy theories. They're still streaming the rehearsal for her ceremony.
Of course. Who could imagine that death would actually descend upon the idyllic dream created by the family? To be honest with you, I didn't believe it. I even tested it a few times myself.
Mira, esta es me voy a tirar un triple. A Robin la mató el hermano. Y ya está. Y lo dejo ahí.
That's why I'm convinced that there are a few big secrets lurking behind this.
Then you must have heard about the Memory Zone meme. When I graciously deigned to establish connections with the Oak family on your behalf, they were quite... Besides Robin, there was another body.
Two murder cases? I told you something seemed off. This murderer is a psycho. But I have to admit, the case should be easy to crack. We can leverage the family's... It's just that their trickery runs deeper than I thought. Robin's stand-in was all ready to go. What should we do? Let me think.
Quiere desvelarlo, pero no lo puede hacer él directamente, obviamente, porque si no la familia...
Incredible, gambler. Have you already exhausted your limited repertoire of tricks so...
There are plenty of chips, but it'd be best to choose carefully. The most straightforward has to be Robin. Remember? That masked fool once told me to find a mute as a friend.
Una piedra. Doctor Ratio.
Robin is what she calls the mute. She has lost her voice, and while most people can't pick up on it, you and I cannot mistake that sound. Not produced by any voice box, but rather by the resonance of the harmony. If that girl hadn't gone hoarse from singing practice, there'd only be one possibility. Something was up with the family, but she died. Right before my very eyes.
A complete and utter loss. Incidentally, it seems to have resulted in your rather undignified arrival on the interrogation. There were eyewitnesses at the scene, and the family, in their graciousness, has tentatively accepted your alibi. However...
Well, things aren't looking too optimistic, Doctor. I'm starting to break out in a cold sweat. Do you reckon... there's still any chance of a comeback, given how things are?
Tío, yo creo que Aventurini es el tonto, te lo juro.
A probability. Yes, it exists, but it verges on the infinitesimal. To phrase it in a manner more befitting the vernacular of Penacony.
Puto ratio. Puto ratio.
If you simply can't control yourself and want to try your hand, then there just so happens to be a suitable candidate. That man wants to see you again.
Who?
Sunday.
Pero este no tiene doble S.
Is this a public hearing or a private trial?
If it were the former, it would hardly befit my stature to stoop to the role of a mere messenger.
Vamos, que es un juicio.
Fine. Well, that's great. It's all great. You see, the dead can't talk, but the living can.
¿Y qué quieres decir con eso?
Ratio, I'm convinced now that there must be something wrong inside the family. Oh, just you wait and see. Without any further ado, let's set off.
We're here.
Ooh.
The Dewlight Pavilion is the Oak family's fortress and a place where heads of the families meet to discuss...
Fortress? I like this metaphor. I dealt with the warlords of the Amanicus star system not long ago, and their synchronized orbital manor wasn't this heavily guarded.
This mansion nominally belongs to Sunday, and is very befitting of its owner. Without his express invitation, the likes of ordinary guests would never grace these grounds in their lifetimes. Look around while you still have this moment of freedom.
Hey, Doc, whose side are you on?
Who's to say I won't sell you out?
We'll see. When we meet the authoritarian master of the Oak family.
Follow me and I'll bring you to his parlor. Hold your tongue and let me...
Cállate la boca. A medida que avance la historia, tendrás la oportunidad de recorrerla desde la perspectiva de otros personajes. El personaje al que pertenece esta perspectiva se convertirá automáticamente en el primer personaje del equipo cuando entres en la perspectiva correspondiente por primera vez. En la interfaz de ramificación del destino puedes revisar a qué perspectiva del personaje corresponden las misiones en curso o misiones completadas. Hostia, tío, esto es demasiado bueno. Si necesitas cambiar de perspectiva para continuar con la historia, haz clic aquí para entrar a los actores, en actores del destino. Para más detalles, revisa los tutoriales. La verdad, mira, yo le puedo decir una cosa. Una historia buena cuando tiene buenos personajes secundarios. Para mí es importante dejar a los protagonistas aparte y darle su espacio a los secundarios. Siempre acaba mejorando la historia. Había uno al principio, pero bueno, eso era en el otro sitio. Está todo guapo. Estoy intentando ver los números del dado, pero no se ve. Si me pego mucho. Nada. Bueno, hola Henry.
Hey, you two! That's a place.
I was requested by Mr. Sunday to bring him the suspect. Mine.
Oh, I remember.
Veritas
you.
Ratio.
Veritas Ratio.
Excuse me.
The one on your head. Of course, it's nothing compared to my full pocket dimension.
Right, and as I mentioned...
That's because you can't see it. Like I say, only family can see the glory of the mobile.
It seems like...
Vamos a cambiar el equipo, ¿no? Una, dos... Y como todavía no tengo ni uno ni icono, me voy a tener que poner la silver, ¿no? ¿Dónde está? Aquí.
Dead end?
The door is shut.
I mean, they're...
For security reasons, the family built the administrative site deep in the dreamscape, with the mechanisms hidden in these nightingales. On the previous occasion, an attendant named Kona had gone to the side room to
Well, maybe we should do the same. Let's go.
Cofre.
This is hardly enough for a seat at the table.
Estaría guay que hicieras así, que era, aunque sea un crédito, ¿sabes? Pero claro, obviamente no pueden poner eso, porque si no la gente se pide aventurines, para mí tiene dinero infinito. ¿No? ¿Hola? ¿Hola? Vale, espérate, acabo de liar. Ahora. Hice clic en el nombre sin alier. Impulsive. No, en persecución. No impulsivo. ¡Ah! 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 ¡Opa! Es verdad, este lo que hacía era que daba turno adicional a todos los enemigos menos a él. Espérate, ¿en serio no entró el de bufo? O sea, entró el de bufo. Es que esto lo había visto yo una vez. Que me pareció que me pasó, pero no lo quería asegurar. Tiene 3 de bufo. Pero el de bufo de ratio, el ponerlo no te lo cuenta como el tercer de bufo. Y por eso no entró. O sea, el checking de si te va a hacer el follow-up attack o no, te lo hace antes de meter el de bufo. Bueno, la vida. Quiero ver cómo se ajusta el reloj. Espera. Llevamos casi una horita, así que lo vamos a ir dejando por aquí. Y luego continuamos, ¿sí?